You're watching Moontower Muscle on the new Deep Eddy Raceway. Welcome back. This is the championship round of Moontower Muscle. I'm your host, Lone Star, and this is my little Cyberdyne compadre. Now, Spike, we're going to start a new tradition. These guys are going to climb the Moontower after the race. You going to give it a go?
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Carry on. All right, now the first of our finalists driving tonight is Mr. DARQ. Dubious Diecast Racing. He's got 58 grams in the Chevelle. Up next is 2K from 2K Racing, 59 grams in the 68 Cougar. Beautiful work on this one. Now, our third finalist is NUMBSKULL, 60 grams in the 67 Firebird for NUMBSKULL Racing. He's got those flames. And speaking of flames, it's Champagne PAPI for Blue Line Racing, 60 grams in the large and in Charger. Into the grid we go for race number 1. NUMBSKULL and Champagne PAPI in the back. Mr. DARQ on the front, outside. It is 2K in pole position for race number 1. And here we go. Down through the Pennybacker Bridge. 2K will lead them, and Mr. DARQ will slot out NUMBSKULL. No, they're neck and neck. NUMBSKULL pulls ahead, pushes out DARQ. He goes sideways. Champagne PAPI pushing from the back, and they spread out. It's 2K, NUMBSKULL, Mr. DARQ, and Champagne PAPI in that order for race number 1. And it's a grand display of tight racing already right out of the gate. This is gonna be a hell of a group, y'all. All right, now in the replay, 2K manages to stay ahead of the pack here. We've got a fight with 3 cars in the back, just struggling for every inch, and we hope to see the rest of that play out throughout these 8 laps. And NUMBSKULL coming in for second, Mr. DARQ for third. Champagne PAPI will take fourth, and we'll head into lap number 2 with 2K kicking off the lead. He has 4 points in that Cougar and a 14.5362 on the clock. All right, Champagne PAPI slides over with Mr. DARQ in the back. We've got 2K up front, and that is NUMBSKULL with his first shot in pole position for race number 2. Away we go. And he will pull out nicely with Champagne PAPI behind him. 2K and DARQ trailing. NUMBSKULL running away with this. Champagne PAPI not too far behind. Can NUMBSKULL hang on? He will. Champagne PAPI for second. And for third and fourth, it's 2K and Mr. DARQ. Hung up somewhere back there in the last couple of turns, slowing down a little bit. Here on the replay, we've got NUMBSKULL running away with this one pretty clean. Champagne PAPI bouncing around a little bit, but he does come in for a second. And Mr. DARQ and 2K just kind of slowing down back there in those turns. But they do come in. They'll take those points, third and fourth right there, 2K and Mr. DARQ. Now, after 2 laps, NUMBSKULL in the lead with 7. 2K close behind with 6. Champagne PAPI 4. Mr. DARQ has 3. And NUMBSKULL with a 13.3082. It's a fantastic time. All right, we'll head into race number 3. Mr. DARQ and 2K in the back. NUMBSKULL up front on the right side. Champagne PAPI will get a crack at pole position, and away we go. Down into the Pennybacker Bridge. Champagne PAPI with a big lead. We got NUMBSKULL, Mr. DARQ in the back. Here comes NUMBSKULL pushing, looking for a pass. DARQ looking for a pass. They spread out, and this is Champagne PAPI, NUMBSKULL, Mr. DARQ, and 2K for race number 3. That was a big push from NUMBSKULL and Mr. DARQ in the last couple of turns. They almost got by. Champagne PAPI's lead starts to close right there with a drift. It lets NUMBSKULL come in, get a hit. Mr. DARQ will come in and join the package. And then they spread out again here before our home stretch. And it's Champagne, NUMBSKULL, Mr. DARQ, and 2K. And NUMBSKULL sitting with the lead. Pretty healthy with 10 points. Champagne PAPI behind with 8. 2K with 7. Mr. DARQ with 5. As we get set for race number 4. Look at them trained up there. They are coming in hot and cruising into those hay bales every time. Champagne PAPI has a 14.0559 on the clock. Great time for his first shot at pole position. Now race number 4 is 2K and NUMBSKULL in the back. Champagne Papi's on the outside. That's Mr. Dark and Paul. He'll get beat out by Champagne Papi. Can he slide in behind? He will, and he'll chase. Numbskull following. 2K nowhere to be seen. Champagne Papi slides. They close in, and can someone pass? It is Champagne, Mr. Dark, Numbskull, and 2K comes blazing in there at the end. And once again, we've got our pile right after the finish with everybody just clamoring in. So close. Now here on the replay, we've got Champagne Papi beating out Mr. Dark, who comes in, almost gets a pass on the inside of turn 4. Heading into turn 5, they get really tight bang up, pushing here into the home stretch, and Champagne Papi has the gas or the hammer down, a little bit of both, to get through, and he will win lap 4. And it's tied. Champagne Papi 12 with Numbskull, also with 12. 2K and Mr. Dark are tied with 8. This is really hot heading into the next set of laps, the next rotation. We got a 14.6476 to Champagne Papi. Now here we go into race number 5. Numbskull, Champagne in the back, Mr. Dark up front on the outside. 2K kicking off pole position for the next rotation of 4 laps. And here we go. It is Mr. Dark. No, they're neck and neck out of that drag. 2K spins. He had this lead. Might he lose it? No, hang on to it and win this. Mr. Dark for second. Champagne Papi for third. Numbskull for fourth. It can't be tighter than this. My goodness. Look at this drag race, neck and neck. We haven't seen one like this in forever. They come out and they hang in through the valley. Mr. Dark gets a little hiccup there. It pushes him back, but 2K spins, and this keeps him tight. Numbskull trying to shove Mr. Dark out of the way. Blue line comes in and passes Numbskull and takes third. My goodness. 2K has 12. Numbskull with 13. Champagne Papi in the lead with 14. Mr. Dark with 11. Man, that's a 14.0335. Very close to the sub 14 on that lap. My goodness. All right, well, race number 6, and it's Champagne Papi, Mr. Dark in the back, 2K on the outside, and Numbskull in pole position. He's got to pull away and create a gap between him and Champagne Papi. He's pushing, going for the inside of that turn. He won't get it. Numbskull able to hold him off. Champagne is on his rear, taps again, but he'll get through for the win, and Champagne Papi takes second. We will take a look at third and fourth. They are coming in toe hot. Can I say it enough times? I don't know. It's just not going to end. It's not going to end. This is just brutal pushing from Champagne Papi on Numbskull. He can't let him get by, but man, he almost does. Really hanging in there, Numbskull. Champagne Papi coming in. That is a third place finish for 2K, and it will be Mr. Dark in fourth. And with that finish, we have a tie with Numbskull and Champagne Papi after 6 laps. 17 points to each and a 13.7371 on that lap. Man, these are hot ones. All right, race number 7. It is Mr. Dark and 2K in the back. Numbskull's up front. It is Champagne Papi in pole position for race number 7. He gets a big lead through the Pennybacker Bridge, down into the valley, hanging on. He's all alone, pretty smooth, spins, and here comes Numbskull, pass on the outside. He's through the last turn, he skids out, and this is, Champagne Papi and Mr. Dark come through. Numbskull on his lid at the finish line. I don't know if 2K got by or if he pushed him over, but we're going to find out. We got a 15.3846 on the lap, doesn't matter. This is all Champagne Papi with a huge run through the valley, real clean. He gets through turn 3 and then spins out in turn 4, allows Numbskull to whiz by. This is his chance to put up some bigger points, and he loses control, banging on the dash, and here comes Blue Line on the outside. Mr. Dark for second, and 2K banging into Numbskull, knocking him over the line for third, and 2K will end up with fourth. That will be a run that Numbskull remembers for a lifetime. He would be ahead by 1 right here, but it is Champagne Papi with 21, Numbskull with 19, 2K and Mr. Dark with 15s tied. They are probably not in this, but barring a lot of carnage, from Numbskull and Champagne Papi. They could end up with some sort of tie situation. But it is looking like night has come. Daylight savings kicks in. We are under moonlight for lap number 8. It is 2K and Numbskull on the back. Champagne Papi is on the front outside. This is Mr. DARQ in pole position. He will have to stay ahead of Champagne Papi, and Numbskull will have to win this from that disadvantaged position, but Champagne Papi is all alone. He's running through the course. Here we go, and that is a win. He does it from the outside, front row on lap number 8. Mr. DARQ taking second place on the lap. Numbskull comes in third, 2K for fourth. Y'all, I gotta say it right here. This was a clean run, really clean. And look at that. That is a cop sitting in the infield grass of turn number 3. We're gonna have to see who that is. Numbskull coming in for third, 2K for fourth. And this is the final set. 25 points to Champagne Papi, 21 to Numbskull, 18 to Mr. DARQ for third place, 2K fourth place for 16. Y'all, that is 0 DNFs in an 8-lap final and a 13.2142 heating up on the final lap for Champagne Papi. Almost close to his track record time. They're going to climb the Moontower tonight. There will be Champagne and Mr. DARQ, Numbskull, 2K. Thanks so much for coming. Fantastic builds. The amazing set of cars for Moontower Muscle is unreal. And your champion for Moontower Muscle's Blue Line Racing. Congratulations. And here we got, who is that? What? Hello, it's Officer Arlo. Arlo PD is in the house, Unit 69, ready to go for the next tournament here on the Deep Eddy Raceway. It is Deep Eddy Street Takeover, and Officer Arlo will be the police interceptor in pursuit of the street racers. We'll see you here on the Deep Eddy Raceway very soon, and y'all remember to live young. Diecast.